Hello and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This would be the last board in the edge cannon for Chariot exchange variation. Again, I would like to thank all the viewers for watching the videos up till now. This is a very complicated system and I often have a hard time memorizing the lines. Without further ado, let us begin. Central cannon, screen horse defense, 7th pawn rank chariot, edge cannon for chariot exchange variation. Black does not accept. Black retreats the cannon to the third rank, preparing for c9 equals to 7, and red plays a shape plus 7. Now this would be similar to the first few boards in section 1 and section 2. However, in this board, black will continue with r1 plus 1. Now this would be the position of this guy, and it will be also be one of black's most aggressive variations in this opening system. With r1 plus 1, there are many things that black can do. One would be to play r1 equals to 6 and thus target this chariot. Black's entire game plan would revolve around attacking this pesky chariot that has crossed the river. There are two main variations. The first would be p5 plus 1 and the other would be c8 plus 9, but I think I have a book on only this line alone, and it's quite a thick one. So the variations given in Grandmaster Xiangqi and Master Yuanqing's books is a little bit rudimentary, but I think it covers most of the important lines. So let's go to variation. In variation A, p5 plus 1 is played, whereby red will continue with his attack from the central file. Black dislodges the chariot, and black immediately goes for h7 plus 8, preparing to give up the central file. Now, because black had moved the rank chariot, there will be no need to play a4 plus 5 to link the cannons up, because the chariot will now be protecting the cannon. p5 plus 1, p7 plus 1. As can be seen, very early on, black would attack very aggressively, even giving up his central file. And red will usually play p5 equals to 4. Now, if red decided to deliver a check with p5 plus 1, black could always counter with c7 equals to 5, cannon versus cannon, and black would have the initiative because he would now still be attacking the red chariot with his move. So red will be in trouble, and black can be very happy with this outcome. So black would now consolidate his defenses. p4 equals to 3 to prevent h8 plus 7, h3 plus 5. Correct horse to move because the cannons will still be linked, there will still be attack on the central file. r1 equals to 4, c8 plus 2, and r4 plus 5. Now this is a very complicated situation on the board. Both colors have crossed the pond, have moved the pawn across the river, and there will be still many options that are possible. So this is a short variation, but we can see this is very complicated. Now to variation B. c8 equals to 9 as red goes for the 5-9 cannons, which is more commonly seen, at least from my own experience. r1 equals to 6, as mentioned earlier. Because of this move, red will now play c9 equals to 7 to threaten and capture the red chariot. There are usually three options for red. The first will be r3 minus 1. This is the most commonly seen method, whereby red will quickly capture the pawn and move his chariot out of harm's way. The second will be h7 plus 6. The third will be r9 equals to 8. Now, if h7 plus 6 were played, r9 equals to 7, black would immediately play h6 plus 5. If black black will usually capture the horse, because if he captured the chariot, this will be a discovered check, and red will immediately gain back lost material and even capture both chariots. So of course this black black cannot allow this to happen. So b5 plus 1 to attack, r6 equals to 2, and black counters with the a central cannon. Black is more than able to contend. This would be a cannon pin or cannon skewer on this material. Red would have wasted 1, 2, 3 moves to push a pawn across the rail only to be captured. So the pawn cannot move, otherwise this would be a check, and black is more than able to contend. a7 plus 6, not viable. r9 equals to 8. Well, but r9 equals to 8 is red is prepared to sacrifice material, capturing a trade of material, capture the chariot, capture the horse, still attacking the horse, but black would simply give up the horse as he is prepared to attack the pawn and capture the elephant. Now, because the red's other chariot was already on the 6th file, the attack on this flank would be tremendous. Red would usually not dare, and after capturing the pawn, black would have a significant advantage early in the game. Red could also play r6 equals to 2, and this would lead to other complicated situations on the board, but red would find it very difficult to make any gains in the following variations, because black's attack is fast and furious on this flank. So that is why it will be best for red to play r3 minus 1 to bring the chariot to safety. Black would take his time, play c2 equals to 1 to consolidate his position. r9 plus 1, red will activate his left chariot to lend support to the right flank. This would also discourage black from advancing the chariot to attack. This is an improvement over old school methods, whereby instead of this move, p3 plus 1 or r3 equals to 8 was played. So r9 plus 1 will be one of the more later, the newer variations. And black would usually play r6 plus 1, lending, giving support to his cannon rank. Now, this would be a complicated situation. If, let's say, black played r8 plus 6, red will play p3 plus 1, attack the horse, and red will gladly sacrifice the horse. Black would not dare to capture the horse, because if he did, the red chariot would be trapped, and so attacking the horse. Again, the chariot will be trapped and lost, and red can have a very easy time ahead. If black tried to move the elephant, the horse would be captured. So that is why black would not dare to capture the horse, and red would be able to consolidate, change his defenses slightly, and have a slight advantage. Now, r8 plus 6 is not viable. What about c9 equals to 7 to dislodge the chariot as planned? The chariot moved to safety, preparing to attack, and now we understand why black had played c2 equals to 1 earlier on, because this would not give give red any chance of gaining momentum. r7 equals to 8, threatening to capture the horse. Red protects the horse with the cannon in this manner. Black attacks, threatening to gain material. r9 equals to 4, both red will pin instead of getting material, and the situation will become immensely complicated, but usually red is better in this situation. So this is another complicated variation, but the most commonly seen will be r6 plus 1, p3 plus 1, a very nice sacrifice, Because the chariot is at the cannon rank, the cannon can now attack whatever file if need be. Black does so. Red offers to sacrifice the chariot, but to get 2 pawns across the river. So at this point, red would have the position advantage, but black would have more material. However, each color has its advantages. As I mentioned earlier, there's only one board discussing this very complicated variation. The moves may seem a little bit crude, but this is a very complicated one. So now let us review the board from the eyes of black. Central cannon, edge cannon for chariot exchange, and today's position discussion, black's right rank chariot variation. Very complicated, very aggressive, little room for error. Variation A, p5 plus 1. This is one of the older ways of playing. c9 equals to 7, dislodging, attack, and sound move over here. Because if p5 plus 1, c7, black could counter c7 equals to 5. And after some defense, the situation is very complicated, but both cards will have better opportunities, and again, this is not for the faint of heart. Variation B, c8 equals to 9, r1 equals to 6, threatening to gain material, and usually r3 minus 1 is advocated. If h7 plus 6, black would now red would have wasted several moves, lost tempo in moving the central cannon, which only would be captured. If r9 equals to 8, again threatening the chariot, forcing it away, and red would offer to trade material, but as can be seen, red would have lost a chariot very early in the game. So of course this is unfavorable, and black would now apply a lot of pressure on this flank. So that is why black is usually advocated for red to play r3 minus 1, and for black to strengthen his cannon rank with this move. Again, if r8 plus 6, complicated, but red gets to adjust his formation. There's always the threat of capturing the chariot. If c9 equals to 7, again very complicated. The colors are pestering each other. Both colors are going for it. Each color has the initiative. So r6 plus 1, and after some nifty maneuvering, red will sacrifice a chariot to get 2 pawns across the river, and again a very exciting and complicated position. Personally, I would rather not sacrifice and play black, but the room for error is minimal. So I hope you enjoyed this last board discussing the edge cannon for chariot defense, for chariot exchange variation. And if you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up for this video. Thank you.